where it's 90 degrees and we're in the pool. And I've had birthdays where it's gloomy and we're all wearing jackets. Like, it's just,
Happy birthday,
to be
by the way.
honest, like I'm cool with it.
people think May is summer, but it's not. It's like the end of spring where
It is most places.
well, no, I'm saying here, like people that have lived in Michigan their entire life are like, it's May, it's supposed to be 100 degrees. I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, I know my birthday.
It's
Last
my
year on
birthday.
Memorial Day, we kayaked and it was 40 degrees and we were all bundled up. It's terrible. It would no, we didn't want to. We got there and it was like, oh, it's 40 degrees. We already paid. Whatever.
Like we already signed up for this.
Forced us to kayak.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Get in the boat. Yeah, no, I don't envy you being down there right now. Taylor.
It's my
That sounds
karma
awful.
for the half of the year that I just brag about. Oh, it's not cold and I can play disc golf. But yeah, now
Are we
it's
live?
we just went live recently.
Okay, so then I can't vent about what I was going to say. Never mind.
I would still take the heat over the 4 months of just actually not being able to play.
Like that's what I've mentally
Yeah.
decided is just that, like, I mean, worst case, like if it's really hot, I can still go play. It's just I have to mentally like prepare myself to just suffer for a minute.
See, I love being just covered in sweat. That's my
I love
That's
it when
good.
you're covered in sweat too.
yeah. Speaking of, are we doing that Friday?
Oh. I was like,
what
what on
you guys
Friday?
what you guys got
Are we
going
getting
on?
covered
man?
in sweat on Friday?
Yeah, we can do that Friday.
Okay. I've got I didn't want to tell you because you'll be upset with me. But Friday is my team building exercise for work. And we're literally just going to play 18 holes of golf.
Oh, nice.
We're doing like scramble with, I would say the majority of my coworkers have either swung a golf club once or never heard of golf. So we try and like make sure at least one person golfs like on each group, and
Yeah.
it worked out pretty well. And then so we're playing golf, and then after that we can meet up whenever you're ready. I'll be out there.
Bro.
Team building experience, more like team drinking experience, bro. Only one guy per team is in a golf club.
I will be drinking. Well, like a lot of them played last year too, because what we do is like we do a training for like all the updates of our software, and then the last day is team building, which is basically just the director of my department is like, we're going golfing. And I'm like, all right. So last year it was like me, the director, and then two guys that have never swung a golf club. So it's kind of just like sometimes they would get a good shot and we'll be like, oh yeah, we'll play that one. But for the most part, it was just us like doing our thing, and same with the other groups. So, and the group that I'm in this year is me, a guy that can probably hit real decently far, but has only played a couple times. So I don't know. And then we've got the two females of our department, and one just wants to dress up like a golfer, and she's like 46. So she's like, I can't wait to wear a skirt, and we're like, all right, whatever. And then the other one is,
I feel like I know exactly what this woman is like.
Inside over her whole personality.
Yeah. Blonde hair, alcoholic. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
And then the other one is our 20-year-old Mexican co-op who came up to me and said like, so how do you like, what is golf?
So what is the point of
And
this?
I was like, I'll show you when we get on the course.
You squinted your eyes, and I really thought you were about to do a racist caricature.
Yeah,
No, she's like fully like, she speaks English perfectly. It's not like she's like
No,
straight
I know
from Mexico.
But I thought you were.
Thought that was where it's going.
I
yeah.
thought you were just gonna go full bore.
What if I said, yeah, our Mexican co-op, and then just went like full Asian. Like I was like, oh,
Like, I don't know if you know what that is.
oh, Bobby Lee.
Sorry, I understand why that was confusing. She's from China. She's just Mexican.
Her name is Mexican. She's a Chinese immigrant. No, but she's like, I've never held a golf club, and I was like, okay, we'll
Time to start.
teach you on the spot.
Shout out Scott. Shout out Tyler in the chat.
I was about to say, shout out Scott. Have a safe trip on the road.
Where are you going, Scott?
Do you have any questions tonight?
Very
Do
important.
you have any questions tonight?
To
Yeah,
establish
you know what
our-
I didn't do after I said, does anyone have any questions last week? Didn't check and see if anyone asked any questions. And then the questions expired. So no idea if anyone
There's
asked
probably
any
some
questions.
generational questions in there. Just
There
some
was
real,
some generational.
some real
It'd be
topics.
really funny if Scott says that he's not going to be very active, and then he just asks.
It's like
1,000
typing
questions.
the entire time.
Yeah, and in between every question is just Tyler saying, "Hey, there's another question."
Great Smoky
Smoky
Mountain
Mountain.
National Park. What are you doing?
Oh,
there,
Tennessee,
Scott?
baby.
Smoky Mountains.
Tennessee, East
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Actually, an amazing, beautiful area. But
Yeah. Ooh, I should probably check that.
Yeah, you should, man. You really should.
I'm going
Currently,
to-
in line for a new Pokemon ETV on my phone. So
oh my heavens.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
an Elite Trainer box. There's a new set dropping.
Oh,
It's one
okay.
of one of those guys.
I didn't know that acronym.
Because you're not an elite trainer.
Trainer box.
Yeah.
One more tangent, then we
what
get
is it?
started.
Is it Paladine Prism Coriander?
No, this one is Destined Rivals. You'd probably
Oh.
like this one. It's a lot of first gens.
Heck yeah. Oh, did I tell you? So I've got Dragonite's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Dratini Funko Pop now, and then I might go grab.
Oh,
It's at
okay.
Target, which usually Target's like the cheapest.
shout
They
out
don't,
Target.
they don't do the premiums for the Funkos.
Hmm. They haven't come out with a good Dragonite card in a hot minute.
I know.
As soon as they do, I'll chase it for you.
Yeah, I might go. There's a comic store, like comics and trading store, like literally a quarter mile from my house. I used to go there and just rifle through. They have like 50-cent, $1, and like $5, like just boxes of
Yeah.
Pokemon cards. And I used to just rifle through the $1 ones and find like any Dragonite and be like, I've got 30 Dragonites now, and then just lose them.
Yeah.
Another round. Dallas.
Bro, for some reason, I
Did you
literally
guys-
just can't remember anything that we talked about last week on our podcast. Like, what is wrong with me?
11.
Do you guys know that Joseph Phillips is like 6'6"?
That might be doable. Yeah, dude. What the heck was that conversation?
What?
So we did that random doubles where it was me, my partner, Mac, his partner, and then Chandler Fry ended up being the third group that we like grouped with. And we're talking about something, and so he's really into birds. So I was talking about how Nathan Sacco is like a national parks dude, so he knows all about birds. And I said, he's the guy that does like all the another round stuff. And he's like, honestly, you look like Joseph, like a lot. And I was like, yeah, I get that quite often, like especially from Joseph. And he's like, yeah, but you're not as tall as him. He's like 6'6". And me and Mac look at each other. We're like, dude, Joseph is not 6'6". There's no way. Every time I talk to him, he's like just above eye level. There's no way I'm
He
like
was
looking
at-
up like this.
He was adamant that Joseph is 6'6", though.
It was so
How
weird.
tall is
Probably
Chandler?
Probably
6'3".
I would say I feel like
6'3".
Chandler's pretty tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I look at a pro that has like meh form or like I'm like, dang, how are they getting around these things? I just look up and they're like 6'4" or 6'5", and they have like, like there was
I'm
some.
gonna let him know that you think he has meh form.
Oh yeah, tell him.
Mac, did you watch Gannon Burr's brand new How to Throw a Forehand video?
Forehand, yeah.
Look, man, I haven't touched a form video in years.
This guy makes the form videos, man.
That's true. There's just some funny stuff there where I'm like,
no,
I don't know if I agree with that, and it's just the top pro saying it, so everyone's gonna agree with it.
I'll have to watch it, but that's the problem with why when I watch form videos is I can't enjoy them at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's not right, or that's a weird way of saying that.
There's a video that I want you to watch, and it's overthrow with our favorite coach around here, Nick Crush.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about nose angle and stuff. And I don't know if they're right or wrong. I just know that you have very strict points on like what you can say.
Is the overthrow video from the last 2 years?
Yeah. It's
okay.
like,
then I'm probably going to disagree with it.
It's literally like a couple days ago.
It's brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
What are you holding?
Bro.
It's Halo Seablend Emperor, baby.
Halo Seablend Emperor. I got it because I'm part of Drew's like subscription box. But dude, it feels like incredible. It has a good dome and pop to it. It's like it really makes me want to.
I think it looks nice.
Bag this is my like overstable.
Yeah, I have heard that those are very beefy.
Very beefy. Yeah. Mac, the video is literally just like overthrown saying like, what do you think about this? And then Nick goes, here's what I think about this.
And then goes, me too.
And then overthrow goes, I guess me too. But the thing is, like, Nick is a super technical guy. So he's talking about like, oh, my scapula protracting and whatever. And like you can kind of see overthrow getting lost in the middle of the thing. And then he's like, yeah, sure.
I'll be honest with the Nick Crush stuff. He sounds really smart. I'm not sure how much of it makes sense sometimes. Like, I'm not going to say what he's saying is wrong, but I might go so far as to say it's irrelevant.
It's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's like goes off on tangents. I'm like, you don't need to explain this. This isn't helpful to anyone. Just say turn your hips like this.
Well, if you have like a multiple like in my case, if I've got 8 anatomy and physiology classes and my associates is in biology and my minor is in biology, like I'm tracking what he's saying, but yeah, I'm tracking what he's saying enough to say now he's off on tangent mode versus now he's not off on tangent mode.
As far as I'm aware, I have the same credentials as him. So theoretically, I should have the same education level.
I don't know, man. He is such a, like, he just loves the, I don't know. He every week in the like form review stuff, he goes over like, he just starts talking about like how this muscle counteracts with or whatever. And it's like, he's a freak.
He probably just knows a lot. I mean, you can get freaky into the fitness stuff.
Yeah.
He's obviously a very in shape person. So
yeah. And he's doing all this stuff with like sprints too. And I think he's like, I don't know. You're kind of cooked if you're like someone who has no idea on that stuff and you're looking at it. And even if you have an idea on that stuff, you still have to check out twice and be like, what's going on here?
It is kind of funny because he seems like a reasonably tall person and he's obviously like a freak in terms of being in shape. So I wonder how much of the like his actual technical aspect is offset by him just being like peak physical form.
Yes. It's like very in shape.
Yeah. Same question is like, I don't know how tall Blitz is, but
Blitz doesn't look that tall.
Yeah.
He doesn't look.
Nick
looks really. Nick looks really tall. Blitz does not look that tall. He just looks big.
Ask him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a small pet peeve that we're gonna squash right now.
Of course.
We all know who Nick Crush is, right? All 4 of us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, you don't have to say my coach anymore. You can just say Nick. We know who you're talking about. Because we've known that it's him, but the past like 3 or 4 episodes is you're like, yeah, I've been working with my coach, and we're like, in my head, I'm thinking like, yeah, we know Nick. Like, just say Nick. Just say Nick. Just say Nick. It's like having a coworker, and they're like, yeah, so my coworker. I'm like, we all know the person you're talking about. That's
You
just
work with one person.
Yeah.
Well, Matt is contractually obligated in his payments to
contractually
call him his
Yeah.
coach.
That call him my coach.
Bro, I wish I wish I had the brain to be coached, because like I was it 2 days ago? I was preparing, like I just wanted to throw some tech disc again, because I hadn't thrown a disc in like 2.5 weeks, and I was like, bro, I suck, and I just don't care enough to get better. Like, I'm just mad that I suck, but not mad enough to do anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
Low key,
hard area
the best thing is like just the oversight that they can be like, oh, you're feeling this. This actually means this.
yeah, I think
Stop
like
thinking.
I have a very specific, like, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I need to work to fix it. It's just like I just don't want to.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, the thing that I need to do, I don't know how to do it.
I think that's like my biggest thing is I
Corey's
don't
exactly
know
like
how to
Ezra
establish
Robinson now,
like
by
the
the way.
feel
Oh,
of
God.
doing something differently.
Oh, you mean that
Versus-
like the way that what did you do to Corey to make him do
No.
that like little
Nothing,
spinny
nothing.
right leg thing that goes on where his left leg seesaws out and then like seesaws back as he
He figured that out all on his own.
Wait, I have no
Oh,
clue
yeah.
what you're talking about. What do I do?
I think he's
Seesaw.
talking about when you slowly rotate your leg to come through.
Oh, that's just my body.
It's just the body.
That's just my body. No, what he's talking about is like, which I explained it like, in my head it looks like Ezra Robinson, and what it is that like late form like reach back, and it's very aggressive because I'm trying to like wait for the last second and then go okay and then go like that to try and get more speed. And I jokingly said, like, I feel like I look like Ezra Robinson because in my head, that's like, I watched him and I'm like, I think I'm doing that.
That's what
But
I
the
do.
other day, our friend that was playing with us on Sunday, out of the blue, just said, like, whoa, Corey with the Ezra Robinson form. And I looked at Mac and I was like, what is going on? So either he heard through the grapevine that I said that and he was making fun of me, or that was the weirdest encounter I've ever.
This is gonna be the new
Mac,
like
did you feed
Corey
him that
puts
long?
just like Simon Lizotte.
I
thing.
didn't, I swear. But now
Ezra.
every time Corey throws a disc into a tree, I say he went full Ezwa.
No.
I went from Ezra to Ezwa.
That adds up.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. New London looks really sick.
I need to
I'm a
watch
little
that.
confused on some of the holes on like where they are because they're new,
Yeah,
but the one like it does look really.
there is
really
some
nice.
gas. There's like a
Wait, do
there's
you
a
guys want to
very good
use that as a
chance-
podcast topic? Should I just like do the intro thing? We can record this bad boy.
Yeah, it's 9:18.
Everybody got all their slurs out of the way.
Popey.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 71 of Unfinished Business. My name is Taylor, joined as always by Corey and Matt. Today we have Mac back in for Tyler. The rotating Mac is back in a different slide somewhere. It says Tyler. I didn't fix it. I was too lazy. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I just need Corey now.
The career grand slam.
My career
Give
grand
it-
slam.
I think give it. Oh no, maybe I don't know.
Corey is
I don't know
the
what I
like
was
Mr.
gonna say.
Consistent when it's come to this podcast, though. Like as far as like
Yeah.
people that just don't miss a week.
Yeah,
Because I have a
he's-
That's
trailer
weird.
set up for
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
go on work.
I was gonna say he's recording from an outhouse, but he's here.
But he's
You know what
here.
I'm saying?
I might have terrible Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Last time Mac was on. It was that day that just everyone's internet kept cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
as soon as we got done, I look over at like their phone, and the phone has a retractable Ethernet cable connected to it. So I didn't even need to use the Wi-Fi. I could have had perfect internet from the hotel and did not think about it.
Oh no, that was like you and Mac went out at the same time, and me and Tyler just like look at each other for a second. It was like, well, do we still just keep talking about this?
Yeah. Fun times.
Few things to talk about in disc golf this week. We had the Kona Piste Open, whatever. I think it's the Open. Kona Piste Open went down. I did not watch it, but looking back, I think I have at least a couple things I want to call out for it. Matt was just discussing live and was kind of the prompt to go into this. The new London video has arrived, so we'll give kind of some thoughts on that. I've watched a few holes. I haven't watched the whole thing. Game as always. We got to recap a weekly challenge, so let's just roll right into Matt. Let's what are you thinking about New London? Oh, Mac, hello.
First, can I just say I had a pivotal disc golf experience with Corey this past weekend?
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
We love these.
Was it throwing the pivot?
I think I know what you're talking about.
No, but
Was it not fine?
No. It was quite nostalgic for me. We were playing a little random doubles thing, and we were backed up on like every hole. And this hole was particularly bad because the next tee pad was also in the way. So we had to wait for them to finish the hole and tee off. Yeah. And so I'm just sitting there like watching to make sure they're about to leave so they don't get, tombstoned in the dome, Eagle McMahon style. And Corey just starts flicking a little intercore at me. And then we just start playing catch with each other. And it was wholesome and super fun. And more people should play catch with one another.
I will add to that. We did not miss a shot.
No,
we were just taking it and just freaking. We were just going around a tree, just whatever direction. It was going directly to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then what'd you guys do after?
Yeah.
Kissed.
That sounds like a beautiful experience.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I can add to that. So, the doubles tournament was at our local course. I would consider it my home course. But once a year on Memorial Day, they make a temp course called Cass West, which is across the street. It's just this big open field area with some like wooded sections. And usually it's for like cross country. So it's like just like a track that kind of goes around. They have these crazy meets. Half the time, if the meet is large enough, these parents will literally park on
talking like brisket
18
or...
and 16 on our side of the road, like on the actual course, the permanent course. They will just completely cover the field. But we ended up playing with, it was me and my partner, Mac and his partner, and then we ended up carding up with Chandler Fry and his partner, which was a blast. So we got to play with Chanimal. Fun times. We're definitely going to be playing with him and filming some stuff. And then also, he would like to be on the podcast. So we're going to have Chanimal on the pod soon. I don't know when. Hopefully Tyler can make it. But that was a cool experience. And I don't know. He when he's not on coverage, he trash talks so much, and it's a blast. So
he was bouncing off of Corey and I very well. And
yes.
It would have been a fun time either way, just with me and Corey, but it was nice having a third because the other guys were like random older dudes.
It's kind of there.
And
the generic, the generic league guys that would be drinking beers and stuff.
There were a couple of times Corey made a slightly off color joke and the other guys were like, whoa. And then the three of us would just laugh at it.
Yeah. Pure curiosity, and if he does come on the show, we can definitely ask him then. But what a sense of what's Chandler throwing in his post retirement from the tour? Kind of he's a lot of Discraft still, or a little bit of everything.
I'm pretty sure he's still throwing all Discraft.
All Discraft,
or somewhat. I don't know.
I thought I saw a sneaky Lone Star disc in there.
Whoa, that's shocking.
Are you talking?
That is shocking.
Are you talking about the approach thing? The little
Maybe.
Is this breaking news?
I don't know what
Chandler
brand
Fry
that
throwing
was.
Lone Star. I know he was throwing the same approach disc that I have, which is the Fjord, just to support James Proctor a little bit. But I don't know how much that would look like a Lone Star disc.
Did he go open bag?
Yeah, he went
last
to
season?
Infinite and Open Bag
Yeah,
his last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't Discraft. I don't know. All I know is he's working at Discraft now. That's why he moved here.
Yeah.
Is he ended up getting a job at Discraft HQ, and he lives in the city where I work. So
Sick.
yeah,
And he loves birds.
he loves
Hey.
birds.
Hey, big birds guy here.
It was
Bird guy.
crazy.
You guys
It's
are gonna
funny.
have a blast when he comes on.
You have no idea. For me to get, like, when Mac comes up to me and says, "Hey, just to let you know, Chandler is like a bird freak," and then we both turn, and while he's saying that, Chandler is swiping his phone, showing this guy this bird that he's trying to find.
No lie, that happened like because I met Chandler because I played on a card with him in a doubles tournament the weekend or like 2 days before then. And no lie, 4 or 5 times throughout that round, he would just turn to Tim Barham, who's his partner, and be like, "Dude, look at this bird. It's sick. This one, it goes into these little holes in the tree and then covers itself with bark to sleep." That's an actual thing that he showed him. And then you'd hear a bird call and he'd be like, "You know what that is?" I'd be like, "No." He'd be like, "That's a killdeer." Like, awesome.
That's so funny that we all like laugh and like, oh, that's super weird. He's that into birds, but like that is literally what we sound like to any normal human that like
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah, I was
know what
about to
disc golf
say,
is. It's like, oh,
there
and
are
this
two-
one.
Yeah, there are 2 apps that I'm sure he has that, like, one, you track your bird sightings in whatever,
He has that.
and then a second gives you all of the birds in your area and like has like a sorting system. They'll give you the bird, their call. I guarantee.
It's like
and
a
I was just thinking, like,
Pokédex.
yeah, it is like a Pokédex. And I was like, that's so funny. And then I was like, that's just Udisc.
Yeah,
Udisc is just tracking
yeah.
tracking your birds
True.
versus you
Yeah.
know.
Speaking of, he does have Pokemon Go, and he got me to re-add it on my phone.
I
Nice.
So that
almost
you can have
downloaded
another
it today.
friend. Yeah.
I almost downloaded it today. I was gonna see if there's any Pokestops at work.
Yeah, it is crazy though, because we did think he was a little too much with the whole bird thing, but then I'll catch myself like showing people that Udisc has a map where every course is, and I'm like, yeah, dude, look, you can zoom out and like look how many are in Michigan.
Well, it's almost just like the code
cool
switch
this
of
all
like
looks.
I have since I moved down here, I made some friends in the apartment complex we lived in. None of them knew what disc golf is. You know, after like a few times, you're like, you're the disc golf guy. You know, I get them to go out and play disc golf, and like you're having a normal conversation playing disc golf, and then we just ran into a group and ended up playing with like 2 people who were like equal levels into disc golf, and the whole just like conversation changes. Like, oh yeah, that like
Yeah.
Run 2 Dynasty, yeah, those are pretty sick. And then the people I'm with just are like, what is even happening? Like, I don't know any of these words.
yeah.
That reminded me of an interaction I had today at work with my boss. That they all know that I play disc golf and yada yada. So the way they introduce me to other people that I work with now is like, yeah, he's a professional disc golfer sort of thing. But we were going up the escalator together after getting lunch, and he was like, "So you've been getting out and discing every day?" I was like, "Oh yeah, trying to, you know." And then I said, "Yeah, but it's soccer season, so it's really hard." And then I realized like that makes no sense
Yeah,
to this
just-
person. So I was like,
It does not
okay,
get that.
I have to explain. The courses are overrun with people, and so I'm trying to do field work. You know, you go to an open field because you don't want to throw it into trees, and then there's a bunch of people playing soccer. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
uh-huh."
I have a.
Okay,
This is
so-
just gonna be. This is gonna be a tangent podcast. I have a related tangent from this past weekend. So one of the guys talking about, you know, just from the apartment complex, took him out to play disc golf. He's the golf guy to like, whereas I was the disc golf guy. Like worked at a golf store for a while, has a degree in turf management. Like this is the golf guy. So I took him out and played disc golf. I think it was just me and him one of the first times. And for whatever reason, like easy course, and I was just dialed that day. So like first 5 holes, I was probably combined drives like 15 feet from the basket. Like I was just out there hooping. Plot twist, like 2 years later, I go play actual golf with him for the first time this last weekend. I had a buddy coming to town, and we just literally spent the entire Memorial Day weekend playing golf. So Sunday we get there. We've been, you know, me and a couple friends have been playing golf all weekend. This is the first round we're playing with him, and we're trying to do like scramble teams. We're trying to like get a gauge of skill to make scramble teams. So I'm like, Mark, in the least humble way possible, like how like actually good are you at golf? he just kind of laughs. It's like, oh, I don't know. I'm a 3 handicap, so like I'm pretty good. Which, if you don't know golf, that's like essentially he's like 10-10 to 10-20 rated disc golfer.
Handicap is quite good.
So we walk up to the first. So immediately we all laugh. It's like, oh yeah, like you're taking worst guy here. Like it may be just us 3 versus you. Walk up to the first hole. It's like 120-yard par 3, 2 feet from the pin. It just first shot. I was like, yeah, this is in for a long day.
Mhm.
But it was wild. I was glad though. I was explaining to him. I was like, I was glad I could have the opposite experience of, I'm sure, like the first time we went disc golf, and he even said a couple times like, oh, you're like good, which I'm really not. It was just that day I was kind of hooping. Like, yeah, I'm glad I got the other side of this. Like, oh, I just had no idea.
When I lived in an apartment in Alabama, our bug guy, the guy that like comes spray for bugs, I guess was either a disc golfer or like tangent to a disc golfer, like his friend was or something.
Yeah.
And I had my basket on my back porch. And so, you know, when your bug guy comes in your apartment, it's like you're almost like getting home invaded a little bit. It's like you don't have a choice. I'm coming in.
Right.
Sort of thing. And so I'd just be like sitting there on the couch doing whatever. And he'd be like, so you play disc golf, huh? And I was like, oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And it just every time it was just forcing me to talk to this person about disc golf. It's like, do you know this person? He's my friend. He plays disc golf in this area. And then the next time he's like, I asked my friend, he knows who you are. And I'm like,
like, oh, sick.
yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that to pros that I run into. Oh, you're a professional disc golfer. Do you know Matt Marsh? And then just like,
Dude, no, listen. I've definitely told this story before. My grandma lives like an hour and a half from me. There's a disc golf course at a park she goes to. One day she's driving by, she sees people disc golfing, pulls up, goes, oh, do you know Matt Marsh? And they're like, yeah, I do, because they live 20 minutes down the road from me, and they were down there for a practice round. So my grandma just believes everyone knows who I am if they play disc golf.
Dude, my fiance's brother was talking to one of his friends in his college class or something, and then I guess they were talking about disc golf, and he was like, mentioned to me, he's like, yeah, my sister's, I was a boyfriend at times, like my boyfriend or my sister's boyfriend is a professional, whatever. He's like, oh, who is he? And he says, his name's Matt Givens. He's on Instagram or whatever. He goes, your sister is dating Matt Givens? Exactly like that. And I'm like, I have like 2,000 followers at this point. So this is an insane like revelation.
Yeah,
for
like
this
a wild poll. Yeah.
Yeah. So her brother has not looked at me the same ever since.
Yeah, I had a funny similar validating moment. I swear when I moved here and like started filming videos here, there was like, I think one person like saw a local course in a video on YouTube and just like told just everyone. So I was playing with several some buddies that never played before, and I'm like, we're rounding back to the parking lot, and 2 people stopped me. He's like, oh, you're that Ursa guy on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like the people that I played with are like literally stopped and like took a picture and just posted as like fan interaction. I was like, please just stop, bro. Please stop.
I've had people walk up to me at tournaments before and be like, hey man, just want to say I really like the content. And I'm like, what? Who are like to me? My videos just go out into the ether,
right?
Like they don't actually exist in the real world,
right?
And then some normal person I've never met before is like, love it, bro. And I'm like, I don't know what's happened. Thank you.
I've had to do the double take. I was passing him. I was like, oh, I really like your videos. I'm like, oh, I like first whatever. I guess I'm similar. Like I post something and just out of my mind instantly. I'm like, oh, that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Videos.
What are those?
YouTube.
I still can't read Taylor's name the same way since he told me that it's literally just you're sad, G.
Yeah.
And
that's the alter ego. Like when I throw in the tech disc and I'm depressed, I'm then you're sad, G.
I love it.
When Taylor turns into a little demon, he's
when I send 10 throws into the tech disc and they're all averaging 8 degrees of nose up, and I'm like, yeah, it's just that's what I got.
Dude, it's just like the corn bob, same deal.
I had the same thought that Scott just put in the chat of, yes, we know you can't read, Corey.
Thanks, Scott. Are you still driving? Keep it that way.
Pulled over just to send that.
So you started saying that, just immediately grabbed the phone. Like, hold on, I gotta cook real quick.
All right, Matt, let's talk about New London.
Oh heavens. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, which would be crazy if you didn't know, New London had to get redesigned.
What?
I thought that they were redesigning like 2 holes and keeping the rest of the course. They redesigned the entire course and kept like 2 or 3 holes, maybe. So there are a bunch of holes they could have salvaged. I would say, who has watched? Have you, Taylor, watched a couple?
Can you
holes?
actually
Yeah, I watched the
say
first
that
like
they
5 or
only
6
kept
holes.
a handful, because a lot of them are still there. They're just repurposed.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I kind of expected them to fully keep a bunch of these holes and then make a couple new ones. But no, the whole thing is really there are only 2 or 3 holes that are fully as they were. But Taylor, you watched a couple holes. Corey, you watched a good bit of it.
Yeah, I watched
Or
all
no?
of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say this New London looks like it probably plays harder than old New London.
I don't want to say that until I actually experience it, because off of
That's true.
Foundation's videos, sometimes the perspective of there's, I don't know what hole it is now, but it used to be hole 7, where you would go. It was like a zigzag with an island carry.
Yeah.
The par
Now,
5.
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Now you go from like basically a wooded tunnel shot where you get out into the open and then you cross that same island. I don't
Which,
know.
by
if
the
that
way, it looks
tunnel
sick.
shot- Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks sick. But the perspective from their camera or something makes it look a lot harder. And I guarantee you, when we get there, it's like, okay, this is manageable.
Yeah,
So
I do think it'll be
curious
manageable.
I'm curious how many shots like that aren't actually as hard as they seem to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I think there's more of the upper 400s, like mid 400s par 3s that are also slightly uphill and wooded, where it's like if you are an amateur and your whatever driver starts fading out early, because that's what you have to throw to get to the hole, you're just going to take a significantly worse score, and there's no way around it because you're going to be in the air and fading left. What did Foundation? They said AMs will make more bogeys and double bogeys, but pros will make more pars or something like that is what they thought it was. I don't know. It does look pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. A lot of the holes do look.
Yeah.
I can think of a hole like hole 16 on the old design. It was like a par 4 that was through the woods that was like fine, but it wasn't amazing. That's not there anymore.
Is that the super tight gap and then it just goes into the open, or is that 17?
No, you're thinking about actually the hole before that. You're thinking about 15. 15 is super tight gap, and then you have to shoot up the hill. 16 is like you're in the woods and you have to throw like this insane shot and then land it so you can turn 90 degrees and throw a hyzer. So I personally didn't really enjoy that hole that much. And so that one's gone and new holes take its place, but still some of the iconic ones are there. So
to me, it seemed like the course went for a more traditional wooded experience.
Yeah,
with obviously the more open holes still sprinkled in there. Whereas before it was more of to use a Corn Bob term, a Viridian experience.
It was a Viridian.
Where it was you were in the woods, but there was a very defined fairway. There weren't really trees in the fairway. It was basically just throw this shot and don't mess up and you're fine.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is kind of like hit this gap and then hope you don't hit the tree 300 feet down the fairway, which has its place.
Now the question is, they said that the Parks Department is planning to do a bunch more work cleaning and cutting, so it may turn back into that Viridian experience. That
I would say I've only seen like the first 7 holes, but I think one of the things that the most work needs to be put into, in my opinion, was like I feel like one of the better things that New London had as a wooded style course was there was still a lot of like spectator space. Like thinking about behind the basket of like Old Hole 1, they fit, you know, rows of bleachers there where you could see that hole and teeing off 1-2, where it does seem like a lot of what they've cut in is pretty rough still, just in that there's not a lot of great like spectator experience stuff. But you know, I mean, that being said, it literally is not even open yet. So I think there's a lot of time to do that sort of thing. I genuinely, at least the holes that I watched, I think most of them I liked more than the prior holes. Especially, I thought the first couple holes were really good. Like starting out with that kind of downhill, kind of tight par 3 that worked left, or par 4, I think seemed really cool. Where
was hole
like,
1? Like I couldn't, when they started, I couldn't picture where hole 1 would have been.
I don't think they got close to it. Oh, where the new hole 1 is? Yeah, no clue.
I think it was kind of to the side of Old Hole 6, like in that open area, like just to the right of it. But I could be wrong.
Okay. That was one of the old holes that I was just like, I don't
where even
know
is
where
this
would be on a map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is there has to be parking that's close.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they're forcing you to walk. Because like Old Hole 1 was literally you get out of the car and it's right there.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if this is now get out of the car and walk, and then on the way back you're like close. I don't know.
Oh, Corey's getting roasted tonight. Man.
Yeah, what is this? Scott says we know you can't read a map either, according to Matt.
Dude,
Matt and
that's
Scott
because of your course.
DMing back and forth.
Yeah, I know what it's about. It's because of my course, but that's just so funny that he just.
I think it's funnier if Matt and Scott are DMing each other, talking crap
Just-
about Corey.
That would be hilarious.
This idiot can't read anything.
He can't even read a map.
Yes. But no, I'm excited, especially if Ivy Hill gets some tweaks and kind of loses some flakiness. Like I think that could be a really good. I mean, I'm sure they're putting this in. You know, they already have Tour Championship coming. You know, they had Worlds there. I'm sure they're putting in this effort to have this be a long-standing kind of tour stop, which I think is great for the sport. You know, love them or hate them, having Foundation there and like the work they're doing for the sport and like showcasing that on a broader level, even if it's not like directly on the broadcast, but having big events located there where they can also help to do some pushing, I think is only beneficial.
Do we think that the Tour Championship is going to be both courses, or is it just going to be New London?
I feel like it's just going to be New London.
I'd like for it to be like that.
I would like for it to be both, actually, I think, but I could be convinced otherwise.
Like a 4-day instead of a 5-day.
Yeah, I would say I think just more golf is always better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is we're still going to have, they said alt basket positions, so they can alternate between those two basket positions for the tour. Because it didn't sound like they were going to do like a short and a long basket. It sounded like just two basket positions, and some of them might end up being slightly shorter, slightly longer. Yeah. It wasn't like there wasn't like an alt set of positions and an attempt to make them, easier or whatever.
Drop the mic.
What do you guys think of Foundation Nation turning into Foundation Golf? And my question, that was Scott's question. My question is, do you think it was a cop-out that they already had like 22K or something like that from Foundation Nation, and now they have a golf channel with 22K?
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't they do that with a different channel previously?
Well, in Foundation Nation, they also did a bunch of golf stuff. Anyways, so it's in my head, it's less of like, hey, here's a new channel, or here's a channel we took, and now it's all about golf. It was like the channel was already like 50% golf, and now it's just always golf. Or something like that. So
I don't know. If I've got 22K subscribers, I'm using it.
I mean, I was also going to say, like, whether or not you enjoy the content, like if I am do YouTube professionally anyway and have that skill set and love to golf in my free time, I'm absolutely just yoinking that into one venture together. Like there's no way it's not. I'd be curious to see like and pick Hunter's brain too of like, I feel like if that is, even if it's slightly less successful than the disc golf channel, like surely like ad revenue's got to be higher on a golf channel than a disc golf channel. Like brand deals you can get for that and everything.
I think the whole idea of Foundation Nation is like, the personalities that have had success in disc golf, let's diversify it into other things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that had varying success. There were fun videos on there, but whatever. But then, now they're kind of going in between. They say, hey, we do understand how we're good at this more like golf style format of discussion and all these things. So we're just going to commit to golf instead. Like,
I will say I am curious how their personalities are going to translate to golf, right? Because I don't know how much actual overlap there is between disc golf community and golf community. I'm going to guess not that much. And at that point, if say the golf community doesn't really vibe with your personalities, what are you bringing to the table? That one of you is brand new to golf and the other one's just fine.
The golf niche is already so full too of just like any genre of personality that you want to watch.
If you're searching for golf channels, and you're a brand new to golf YouTube, I don't know that you're parking yourself on Foundation Golf.
Yeah, especially considering, I mean, there's levels to like Foundation obviously has far and away some of the best production quality in disc golf YouTube. Not even close to the production quality of like high end like golf channels, right? Like
even like mid-tier golf channels are crazy. But I don't know. I mean, it's better than just letting their Foundation Nation channel sit there and do nothing.
I'm much more likely to watch golf. I'm much more likely to watch them play golf than like play hide and seek in Dollar Tree or whatever like their old videos were. So
I was gonna say the same thing.
The other 50% of Foundation Nation,
right?
Yeah.
With that, I just wanted to touch on a couple things on Kona Piste Open. I'm definitely going to go back and watch the coverage. I didn't have time this last weekend. I was golfing literally the entire weekend. One, I think that's just a beautiful course. Like that, there's something so sick about that course. The 2018 like Eagle winning his first major for a while was just like a comfort watch, like throw something on in the background just to have something like scenic on the TV on YouTube for me. But if you didn't pay attention, Mauri Vilman took it down in MPO, but I think the fashion is the biggest thing. So if you did not see, average 1067 for the event, stats, all the stats are all good. Averaged almost 60% from C2 on the weekend. I think like upper 80s to low 90s C1X like was just on fire out there. So my first thought, and I guess what I'd like to ask you guys is, does the weekend field make you question this win for Mauri Vilman, or is this someone that you're paying much more attention to as we go into the European stretch of the tour, 2 majors coming up? Is this a guy that you're looking at a little differently?
I'm going to have to wait until the next event in Europe because I want to compare what he does with a full field to this.
Yeah, and I think the biggest name in that field, so Mauri Vilman came in at 40 under par in 3 rounds to win. Vino Makala tied for 4th with 28, and then Nicholas Antila finished at 26 down in 7th. So, I mean, he's beaten Nicholas by 14.
Yeah, from those numbers, now that you say that, 40 down is...
in 3 rounds. It's pretty
crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that, like, sticks out or thing you're thinking about is like when you've got AB and Gannon just snapping, at the bit in this, assuming this guy is in the lead in a similar situation,
right?
Can he handle that pressure? Because now we know he has all the skills to. The question is, is the pressure there?
I am curious what they would have gotten as a score
if they were.
Like, I know Niklas was like 13.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, we'll always say like Nicholas is a guy that's like he wins or he's throwing up a stinker. So I'm curious if this was just a stinker from Nicholas and that just got him 7th instead of like 30th this week.
There's certainly less of a strain on Maori knowing like I really just have to beat Nicholas this weekend.
Right.
Like that's what you go into that tournament thinking. Now, I mean, what he
Yeah.
did is still impressive, and he's a name that I've known about for a little bit.
Right.
But my honest opinion, I don't foresee him like making waves this season. But who knows? Maybe he pops off a top 15, top 20 or something next couple of tournaments. I'm here to see it, but I don't
Yeah.
know how indicative this is for like an up and comer new guy on the tour. Because we kind of had the same thing last year with Jesse Niemanen,
Yeah.
and where he came in and won his first Elite Series in a weekend field in Europe, and then he's showed up every once in a while, but never really like vibed for the win. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah. It's
What's the
interesting.
next couple events?
So we have Northwest Disc Golf or Northwest Disc Golf Championship this weekend. I think
North.
there's still a couple more before it's like a full we're all in Europe kind of thing. I know the Ale Open is coming up and the PCS Open, but I think it'll be another like 3-4 weeks before we see the full field go over to Europe.
What's the full field playing here while that's happening?
Northwest this weekend, and I don't know if there's another big.
So
I don't know if there's a pro tour
Northwest
between then.
is previous Portland and
Beaver.
Milo, yeah.
Beaver.
Let's just pull up the
Should be
schedule,
fun.
shall we?
I think
Okay,
the
so you've
Beaver
got.
logo is hilarious.
It's pretty sick. I just actually pulled it up and saw it. Northwest this weekend, Ale Open June 6th to 8th. Then we've got Preserve, Preserve and USW DGC, and also Discmania Challenge in Iowa. So we've got a bit.
Where's
I would-
WDGC this year?
It is in Wisconsin. I don't know what course.
Oh,
Let's see. Silver Creek in
Silver Creek. Is that the
Manitowoc,
one-
Wisconsin.
That sounds familiar. Is that the one with the lighthouse basket? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
That
They had a
is in the
song-
logo.
It might be
So
on-
yes,
yeah,
I would
on Lake
imagine so.
Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they've done like AM stuff there. Like I don't know if it's AM Worlds or whatever, but
Yeah, so Discmania Challenge ends June 29th, and then PCS opens 4th of July weekend, and Crocal is July 11th, and then the next weekend is European Disc Golf Festival. So I would imagine around that 4th of July weekend, like PCS and Crocal is when we'll see like a full field in Europe.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to point out too, like Mauri Villeman, I know he top 10'd, I think in both European Open and the Disc Golf Festival last year, so sneaky pick for that. But I was looking like also Matt Bell top 10 at European Open last year. So like it's just when you're having a good weekend, like you're having a good weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, even when the full field is over in Europe, it's still a weekend field to be honest. Like your top guys
Yeah.
are there, but you know, you get your Matt Bells pop up into a top 10 because all of a sudden you don't have 20 mid-tier guys that are
Right,
going to
yeah.
have the same weekend as
There's
you.
still a lot of people that can't afford to go over, basically.
Yeah, the midfield is definitely still back in the States.
Yeah.
So that's not to take anything off. I mean, a win is a win.
Yeah.
I mean, 40 under is still impressive. Over 3 rounds, so he shot like 13, 13, 14. I didn't watch a single clip
Something
from
around there.
this.
Yes.
The only one I saw was Kristen or Silva made a putt or something, and then a peacock like crowed.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I saw. And I said, "Wow, that's
Yeah.
weird." Europe, and then I turned it off.
Yeah. Maury actually shot 5 down, and then 20 down somehow.
So did
So
the last round.
it
No,
was insane.
it was. I literally just had it pulled up. Let me
I'd probably
see.
win a tournament. Would rather win a tournament like that. Also, that only equals
Yeah.
30 down.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Can't read a map. Can't do math.
5 down, and then 30 down.
It
Can't
was
do math either. Dude,
third-
Scott hates me today.
13, 14, 13.
Okay. Yeah, that's very impressive.
But speaking of looking forward to what's coming on the tour, we got some picks to make for the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship. As Corey corrected me last week, it is the 2027 Worlds Preview, not the 2026 Worlds Preview.
Yeah.
I'd go into performance last year, but that would also alter picks. So a little picks update. Still Matt in the lead with 15 points. Tyler's got 13. I have got 9. Corey has got 4. Tyler's got the big plus this week of having Mac pick for him, who is just the dark horse whisperer, mainly just Connor Rock, just out there hooping.
Connor is my rock.
That gives us an order of Corey, me, Tyler, aka Mac, and Matt for picks. Corey, who do you have taking down the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship presented by I don't know?
I have a strong urge that I want to just pick Connor Rock as my first.
Don't
Just
do
so he
this to
Just
me.
let it rip. Just let it rip, man.
Don't do this to me, man. You guys don't get it.
Portland.
Connor is my rock. He's
No,
not
he's
your
not yours.
rock.
I need to give me 1 second. What's this called? Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest Disc Golf Championship. Actually, in the meantime, I didn't give anybody a lot of prep to look this up. Matt, do you want to tell us about our upcoming weekly challenge here?
Yeah. So last weekly challenge was we banned a bunch of speeds from people's bags. Corey Taylor and I both all played that, but Corey popped out a
The round of his
goated
life.
round
We can say it.
at 234. And we see what Mac has been telling us, that the handicap system for Corey is going to get cooked the instant he plays one good round, because his handicap is like pretty close to what my handicap is. so
he was probably adjusted like 260
Yeah,
something,
how
right?
high is the
he
rating?
he was adjusted 257. That was his adjustment on UDIS.
I had
Corey's the goat.
I had good weather this year.
This year.
This round compared to every other round that I've ever played for this.
Ace on hole 1 doesn't hurt the vibes either.
Ace on hole one certainly does not hurt the vibes.
It made me very positive, but even then, if I birdied it, I still would have shot. And
Did you play cash shorts?
yeah,
What'd you shoot overall?
8 down.
I'm just like milestoning this for the Little Caesars challenge.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Good call.
That is the course that I'm going to be playing when we do that. Which Tyler, any day,
You're out there.
any day now.
Well, he's got
Tyler.
his wrist is hurting, and like he's got to try out some more distance
Oh,
drivers.
Tyler.
And then for sure he'll get there. So Corey popped just generational 257. Taylor came in second. I came in third. As I stated before, the crappy part is I second putted every single putt I had and was like 5 down and like a great round at my local and shot a couple over. So, but hey, that's my own bad.
Speaking of, I forgot about this till just now. I was thinking about this on the course. I have an official apology to send out to Tyler. I have been strongly against Tyler's a guy that thinks the speed of putters matter. I think that's stupid, and a putter's a putter. I putted with the Berg today. And let me tell you something about the Berg. I hit the cage so many times.
Wait. This is a flawed test because you're using
absolutely.
you're using the
Absolutely.
one disc that everyone straight up says has 0 glide.
No, I don't think there's any flaw. I think it's a perfect test, actually.
It's actually
I
the
think
most
I think we
scientific
can just
test
move on.
possible.
It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it.
Because I will say the disc that I aced with was the Loft Hydrogen, which is a one. They say 1200, not even close. I would say like 1401 or something like that. It still has fade, but if you throw it hard enough, it will go really far. If you putt with it, it putts just like a normal disc. I don't think the Berg should be the
So I absolutely cooked myself when I said you can't throw 3 speeds, because I was not intending to go to the course that I went to, and my throwing putters were a Berg and the Infinite Disc Glyph, which I had never thrown before, which is pretty similar if you felt the Innova Birdie, which is just like the leading edge of this thing is just a square. Like it is it's terrible. I was throwing it into a headwind on most holes I was trying to drive, and when I tell you I physically could not throw that disc more than 175 feet, it just was not. It was just not happening.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Taylor popped the second place. I popped the third place. No one else went in for this challenge. And that
First
brings
one I've
us.
missed in a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the first one Mac missed in a while. That brings us to this next challenge, which
I
we're
love
pretty
this.
excited about.
I
Okay,
love this.
this challenge is a 9-hole speed run challenge, which means pick your shortest course in your area. How fast can you complete 9 holes? There are 2 things you need to give us in this challenge. A, your UDisc stats, as always, for 9 holes. And B, your time. This is how we're running it. Time from when we throw our first shot on hole 1 until we tap out on hole 9. Okay.
Hold on. Very important clarification. Do you have to keep your UDisc
I was gonna ask the same thing.
during the round?
Okay. Yeah, good clarification. I would say no. You just have to keep track that you have birdies and bogeys. Scott, we're gonna trust everyone here because video proof adds to this.
You will see video proof of me and Matt.
I would say, do I invest in a GoPro to just strap to my noggin and run this
We're doing the
challenge
same
with?
course,
Like,
same time. So we'll be playing like next to each other, or
Yeah.
maybe one hole off.
Now, many thoughts here on, hey, does it matter if I shoot 9 over par then? It does. Every bogey adds 5 seconds to your score. So par is what we were considering our even. If you go 1 under par, it takes away 5 seconds. If you go 2 under, it takes away 10 seconds. Same
2
other
under?
direction. 2 under par on a hole.
Isn't that
Eagle of par
Mace?
4. Or Eagle of par 4.
Not if it's
The
a par four.
exception is
Idiot.
an ace. If you get an ace, it is a whole minute off your score.
I
And
want to
considering
know
we're all
who
playing
is playing par fours.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
bad
that's how it's
choice, of
working.
course, for
choice,
this
of course.
challenge.
You are
So-
running 800 feet.
I'm actually playing Northwoods Black.
Yeah, toboggan.
I think we're gonna say 2 weeks for this one too. But in our Discord, you have to put in your time from your first throw until you tap out on hole 9, and your score on UDisc, and we'll calculate an updated score for you.
And you will catch me doing this challenge at 5:30 in the morning because it is so hot. I will die.
In all honesty, I might do it that early too.
Just
because
just
I wanna be
get up, roll out
Yeah.
there, just chug a Red Bull real quick, and just send
Just-
that thing. Dude. Just
I did start running again recently by happenstance. So I've been preparing.
prepared. He's prepared.
Honestly,
I
the
did
course
my-
that we're playing, we don't really need to run that much.
No, well, you might not need to, but Mac will be. He's
I'm
locked in.
sprinting.
Hey,
Well, no, I'm saying from tee pad to hole to next tee pad, there's not much running.
Not a lot of
on.
running.
Mac
to
doesn't
do.
care if it's 20 feet. He's sprinting that 20 feet. Yeah, Mac,
I'm
I
beating
ran.
this to the basket.
Yeah, I ran for the first time today since before I started dating my wife. Same deal, accidentally, and I was like, wait, now this is gonna be goated. But that's the challenge. You have 2 weeks to do it. If this
Mac
isn't
is
some
throwing
of
the
the funniest
disc
stuff,
and running next
This is
to it, like
seriously-
while it's going.
I'm intentionally throwing it on like giant Annie like helicopter
Yeah,
angles
just
so
give
I
it
can
time.
beat it to the
Just alley
basket.
oop yourself.
Yeah.
It's like how every kid thinks they can throw a football and then run and
Right.
catch the football.
If I get there first, I can jam it into the basket. That is a rule.
Course.
that I'm
Absolutely.
and
instilling.
and it's there's a stroke off. Like you're not counting that as 2 throws. It's one clean. throw.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mac
Yeah.
aces every hole. Just
Yeah.
his time is actually -8.
All right,
but
we
that's
ready for
the-
picks?
Yeah, let's
We're
send
ready
these
for
picks.
picks.
Send these
Picks.
picks.
All right. I'm gonna go with Ezra Robinson.
There's a Rob.
Dang it.
By virtue,
Corey
I
picked
will
himself.
Yo.
self confidence. By virtue, I will now be taking Ganonburr.
Yeah, I don't know why we're not in Insta Gannon here. Give me
Ganonburr
AB.
did win the tournament at both of these courses last year independently.
Because it's so boring.
I will say that it was Mac's turn to pick before Matt. So
Whoops.
Hey,
I forgot I was
you know
talking.
what?
stroke
forgot
to
penalty.
talk.
Stroke
Hey,
penalty.
you know what? I was gonna pick AB, but you can have him because I'm Tyler and I'm a really nice guy. So I'm gonna pick Adam Hammis.
Okay.
All right, fine. I took AB, I guess.
Fraudulent.
Fraudulent.
When AB wins, there's going to
Fraudulent
be a
AB
discussion to be had.
Give me the back-to-back here. Give me give me Paul Macbeth. I don't
Love
didn't
it.
expect the words to come out of my mouth, but
Whoa. Okay.
E. McBee. He's here.
You're not gonna let Taylor suffer this week, huh?
Yeah, it's for my own mental health, honestly.
Is it me or is it Taylor?
It is Mac.
Oh, okay.
We're going so sneaky this week. Give me Eagle McMahon.
Love
oh my
that.
heavens.
I'm gonna take Big Rick, Dick Sock.
Yeah,
Suck.
he was in my list too.
Dude. What do you mean? The list is literally the top 5 people every single time,
Hey,
which is why I don't like
He
picking
was in
them.
my list.
It's my
He was in my
list,
list,
man.
bro.
On
It
his
was my
list.
Didn't we talk about possibly like removing the winner?
So what I think we should do
something?
next year, I think we should add a multiplier for how far outside like the top X they are. So like you get 1 point for the top 5, you get like 1.25 X points for 5 to 10, so on and so forth.
Okay.
And then maybe we might have to tweak like not just looking at the podium in that case, like maybe you get points for like top 10 or something, but I think there's
Yeah.
some tweaks to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Is it me?
It is you. Shout out
Okay.
Slick
And I
Rick.
have 2.
Yeah, back to backs.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Ezwa.
Covering both of
What
his
a
bases.
back-to-back.
Ezra and Ezwa. And then give me Calvin.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that pick. That was who I was going to pick, so I have to go back to the drawing board. Sneaky
kinda
good,
rock.
sneaky good season this season. I'm going to take Kyle Klein.
You know,
Ooh.
in 5 of his appearances versus Gannon Burr at Northwest courses, he
I
actually has
almost
3 of-
started that. I almost started this week with that just to see what would happen.
Is it me?
It is.
I will go James Proctor.
Love that.
What a pick.
Love that.
Okay.
The proctologist.
Yeah, the proctologist. I didn't know we were like
Y'all
that.
are gonna go crazy when it's a James Proctor, Eagle McMahon. Who else did I
Showdown.
pick?
Adam
Hammis
podium.
Give me Isaac Robinson.
Yeah, I Rob.
Y'all see
Dark
Vessi's
Horse.
just blessing him up with a new phone.
Saw that, man. Where can I
What
get
the
one of
heck,
those?
man? Yeah, let me get involved.
Where's yours, Corey?
It's not waterproof, so it's broken. Yeah.
They sent it to you, but it was in a fishbowl.
Mm.
Yeah. It had a note. It
They
said,
just sent
"These
you
are
Isaac
nothing
Robinson's
like our
old
shoes."
broken phone.
Yeah.
Matthew Marsh DG, it's your dark horse here.
Oh, it's my dark horse. My apologies. Hey guys, Jake Mon no longer available for the dark horse. Happens to the best of
look.
us.
Tough look. He's on his way up.
Give me
I
Zach
thought that
Nash,
was
bro.
you. I thought that was you saying that you were picking Jake Mon. Like no longer there for the dark horse because I have him.
He is, wait, was there ever a ruling on 40 itself? Can you not pick 40 on the number?
I always thought it was outside the top 40.
Okay. That's fine with me.
But
Sure.
Works for me.
Listen, guys.
I have a feeling where this is going, but go ahead. The floor is yours.
Listen, guys.
Yeah, we already know what's going on.
It's me. We just have a connection, me and Connor, the con man, I call him, unrelated to Foundation Connor.
Yeah.
He's been with me through thick and thin, and that's why Connor is my rock, and I will be picking him again.
gosh dang,
Beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful the way he says it.
Northwest guy, I'm gonna take Ty Love.
Interesting stuff there.
Nothing really motivational about it. I just, he's from the area. I think we'll do all right.
U of M boy. I'm gonna go Robert Burridge.
Rob Burridge.
Washed. Washed. Go green.
All right, that gives us a rundown of Corey's got the Ezras, Robinson, and Aderhold, and Calvin with Robert Burridge as his dark horse. I've got Gannon-Burr, Ricky, Kyle Klein, and Ty Love. Mac has got Adam Hammis, Eagle McMahon, James Proctor, and of course Connor Rock subbing in for Tyler. And then Matt's got AB, P McBee, and iRob with Zach Nash rounding out his squad. Couple names to throw out, I think, that also could do well that didn't get picked because I don't actually think that much that they'll do well, but I think Simon could do well here. A lot of distance out there. I feel like a lot of rollers, a lot of like shot shaping, and also sneaky Cole Allen, I think, is kind of on his way back. Again, Northwest guy. I think he could do well.
Do we think if Garrett Gerthy finds himself in a position to win this tournament on 18 again, that he will choose to throw a forehand?
I hope so.
I hope not.
I hope his mental is, ooh, let me fix this from last time.
This is my chance. I have
Can
to
you
atone.
imagine he's like, this time I've been practicing this shot. He just does the exact same thing.
Yeah. He turns to the crowd and says, no, don't worry, guys. I
got it this time. Got it this time.
So small side tangent. I was playing doubles tournament and I had never played a like tournament round or anything that mattered with my partner. And we had a shot where we were in the right side of the woods, and I'm ambidextrous, so I can throw lefty forehands and tomahawks. And it was either like a righty backhand turnover or a lefty forehand. So I looked to my partner and I said, "Do not look at me weird. I am left-handed." Right? Because I didn't want him to be like, "What is this guy doing?"
Just like out here throwing.
Yeah. I walk up to the shot, throw it directly into the tree right in front of me.
Awesome.
He just started laughing. I was like, that's how I know you're a good partner, because that was the most embarrassing thing I've done in a long time.
Mac walked up like he was Inigo Montoya, and the whole time he's been
Don't
lying
worry,
and
don't
throwing
worry.
right-handed, and he's actually even better left-handed. And because you didn't say, "Don't look at me, I'm ambidextrous," you said, "Don't look at me weird, I'm left-handed."
I'm actually left-handed.
Is implying that you're not both.
I'm actually 1050 rated as a lefty. Boom.
Dude,
Got
this
him.
is actually the James Proctor mentality.
I would love, like, going back to, I think like Bradley Williams has said this before because he has a really good lefty. I would love you to be able to like sign up for a separate PDGA number, like left-handed.
Yeah.
Be like have a left-handed rating.
Dude, we've got Bradley, James Proctor, Nico Lacastro.
Yeah,
who's
Nico's got a
probably the
really good
best.
lefty.
Yeah. There's
Eagle.
quite a few
I mean,
lefties
Eagle's
out there.
throwed it in tournament.
Eagle. Yeah. God,
Are you talking about only players that play right-handed and throw left-handed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are
that
you
was the
talking-
primary discussion, but it could be vice versa.
Well, no, I'm saying like Clemens is a lefty.
Oh yeah, we're talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
like
we're talking about
non-dominant hand. rating.
Non-dominant hand.
Okay, yeah. All right.
The AJ Risley also brought out some lefty forehands pretty often.
Who's
Corey,
messing
we
with
should-
the mic?
We should make a video where
Holy crap.
That's crazy. I barely touched the
Bro's just trying to play it on casual.
Well, I didn't realize it was me because I touched like this little handle at the bottom of my mic base, which you should not be able to hear at
It
all.
was
But
so
I guess
loud.
it just sent the vibrations through.
Dude.
Anyway, my hand will be away from that. But we should sign up for a unsanctioned tournament, and I'll play in the same division as you, and I'll only play left-handed.
Okay.
That would be so sick.
Oh, also, what do you think my rating is?
899.
At least 700. Oh, with that,
All right.
if you're new here, if you're new to Unfinished Business, we always like to wrap up a little game. I don't know how this is going to go, but I hope it goes well. So what I have is 10 discs that we're going to have 3 checkpoints here. So I have the date they were approved, I have the flight numbers, and I have the manufacturer. So I'm going to give everybody a chance, like just step 1, approved date. If someone magically like Hail Mary guesses it off that, they get 3 points.
Okay.
Down to 2 for the next one, 1 to the next one. I haven't decided. I'm going to get you guys' opinion. I couldn't decide if I also wanted to make it where an incorrect guess is a negative point. That's how I had it in my head at first, but I also feel like that leads to just a silent podcast, which is not the best audio product because you don't want to just like say something wrong. So I was leaning towards just rip answers.
What if the last one is
So after you
negative?
have everything, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
like
way,
that.
like, oh, if you know your discs from the company with the flight numbers, the date is kind of really
We'll see how helpful that is.
yeah. Are we actually saying it out loud, or are we sending you?
I think we can just rip it out loud.
Wait, so
Okay.
hold on, what are we doing?
So
We're
I'm going to tell
guessing
you
guessing
these
the
3
disc.
things, these 3 hints, and then you are going to guess the disc. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I
Got
kind
it.
of missed that part in my explanation.
I
got a
thought we
little
were
ahead of myself.
guessing approval dates, and we started talking about flight numbers, and I was like, huh?
What's happening? So first example, approved on January 20th, 2025. Does anybody want to send one?
Man.
Yes. Hold on. Give me a second.
If Corey just
January
nails
20th.
this, I will freak out.
January 20th.
This is approval.
Yes, approved date. So not like release date or anything,
Not
but
when it released.
yeah, when it was approved by the PDGA.
I want to say like Boost.
Solid yes, but not the disc.
Okay.
Wait, so we're
Um,
not doing negatives.
Not doing negatives
on the
until
last one.
after the 3rd hint, which is the manufacturer. So by that point, you'll know when it came out or when it was approved, the flight numbers, and who makes it.
Okay. Do I get as many guesses as I want?
Well, we'll send one. Send
Okay.
one a category.
Okay. Can I guess
Till the
the
end.
pivot?
It's not the pivot. That is a good guess.
Is it the finish line sector?
It is not. Also a good guess. The flight numbers are 11, 5, -2, 2.
Trail.
Not the trail. Great guess.
Typhoon.
Not the typhoon. Great guess. I'm just going to keep saying great guess after everyone.
Oh,
Great guess.
Guys,
Good
Good
guess.
answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
what
Good
if I
answer.
already know the disc and don't remember the name, but I know the company and everything else? Who wants to trade me half
sucks.
their points? Who wants to
That
trade me
must
half their
suck.
points?
I'll
for
trade.
this?
I'll trade you half my points.
That must
For-
suck. Good guess.
It's a good guess. Good guess.
I could be wrong here, but if I'm, how much do you know about TSA?
How much do I know about TSA? Nothing new. I stopped paying
Okay.
attention to them
Well,
like
Oh.
2 years ago.
Then we're
Yeah.
cooked. They popped out an 11.5, or they popped out an 11 flippy distance driver with Discraft as their first Discraft mold. Got approved
was
a
like-
couple months ago.
Is
I
this the
feel like
one
it started
that's
with a
the like
PH.
Surge SS?
Yeah.
The one that's that's practically a Surge SS, I think.
No, I think it is.
I'm gonna have moderator intervention here. I'm gonna give Matt the points because that's pretty sick. It is the Thought Space Athletics Expanse is the name, but like
Expanse.
he
Dude,
knows,
I did
bro.
have
He knows.
Expanse. I had Expanse in my head, but I thought that was Lucky's 8-speed or whatever, or flippy 8-speed.
Oh yeah, because I think they did come out with a lucky signature of this.
Yeah, but it was a flippy something. I thought
Yes.
that was the Expanse, but
So yeah,
I
I'm honestly impressed.
Show
2 points
little
for Matt.
attention to discs that are coming out. So I had
Now,
no-
now I really want to get one off of the date.
just rip
Just
one.
yeah, just
yeah, that was the end of a leopard.
yeah.
Second one, approved date December 30th of 2021.
Okay.
December of 2021.
What released in 2022?
Is it
Athena.
you munch? I
Good
was
guess.
literally
Not the
about
Athena.
to
Good
say
guess.
that.
Could you imagine if all of us said Athena at the same time? 'Cause I was
Brain,
also
I'm
thinking-
literally about to say Athena. Okay, well, I guess I can be happy that he took my incorrect guess.
I've stunlocked Matthew Marsh.
You did stun like me. I'm cooked now. I was banking everything on Athena. 2021. Gosh.
Oh,
You said December 30th?
Yes,
Yeah.
December 30th. So probably
Last
didn't
day of the
actually
year?
come out until 2022. At least availability wise.
Is it the Marvel?
It is the Marvel.
Whoa.
Is it really?
It is. It is the Marvel.
Whoa.
Holy
This
crap!
guy.
Just look at him go.
Well, of course
Look at
you
him go.
know. You have a poster.
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say anything.
Like
on
it
there.
said, like PDG approved.
Dude, we're kind of shooting
No,
ourselves in the foot.
I do remember when they posted it. It was like around the holiday, and I think I did like the pre-sale or
like
something. I
pre-order
don't
or
know.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick. I'm so happy that somebody got one off of the approved date. That's so sick.
All right, let's do. How many do you have? Like
I have
50
10.
of these?
I have 10 total.
Yes. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I will say I got a little meaner as time goes on. So they're getting some of these are a
Okay,
little
cool.
out there.
Is it the
Um,
gum putt?
It's not.
Can I,
Uh,
can I do a pre-hint guess?
Absolutely. Let her rip. 10 points to
The
Gryffindor. It is not the goat.
Dang it.
Approved on March 27th of 2015.
Definitely not the goat.
Oh my heavens!
2015.
Man, 2015. What was approved then?
Even getting popped out in 2015.
Okay,
Matt
okay,
wasn't even alive.
I have a question for Mac and Matt. When you think of discs, do you go to a specific brand? Like what?
Yeah.
Like right now, we're thinking. What do you go to?
I think of what I was throwing around that time, and I
Mhm.
wasn't playing disc golf in 2015. So this is a very hard.
In
for
my
me.
in my case, I think Innova's popping stuff out, but it's even back then they were really not popping out anything generational.
Yeah, I instantly go Discraft. I don't know.
I was about to say,
I go
Obviously,
I
I
go
don't know
Discraft.
why.
I'm trying.
As a
to
side
think of
note for
what
me,
companies are growing at that time.
Yeah. As a side note for me, I'm just really trying to avoid the situation I did last time we did a game like this where I tried to give a hint and just said the name of the disc. So it's like I literally have this column in sheets in all red.
I'm gonna say the dynamic disc criminal.
It's not the criminal, but a great guess.
Thank you.
Ooh,
I
the
didn't
dynamic
guess.
Everybody
disc.
says, but a great guess because now I'm
The-
like, ooh,
What a
it's,
great
it's
guess.
I don't
definitely
know.
Dynamic discs.
I don't know when they popped this out.
Good
Dynamic
guess.
disc, EMAC Truth.
Not an EMAC truth, but great guess.
Yeah, man. I think it has to be newer than that, but I'm just trying. Like literally, it's tough to think about what people are like even making.
15.
I know my brain's wrong, but I just assume that Innova hasn't made anything new that would make it on Taylor's list in the last 15 years.
Wow, what even was Innova coming out with then? Surely they were coming out with something.
What is Innova coming out with now,
Bro,
dude?
the racer, man.
The
Rolo,
Racer.
the Gorgon, the Racer.
That's-
the
I feel like they've been
Racer 2.
dropping stuff.
There's a
Yeah.
Racer 2, the Alien.
There's
It's-
not.
Well, the
It's
Racer
not-
2 is what we got as the Sultan, and the Racer
Yeah,
exists.
It's the
Yeah.
infinite version.
Gorgon
I'm
is
gonna
good,
go
but that-
with 2015.
My bad on that one.
2015. I'm gonna go with the Surge SS.
Not the Surge SS. Great guess. The flight numbers. The flight numbers are 9, 4, negative 0.53.
Oh,
Tesla.
who?
Not the
You
Tesla.
munch.
Great guess.
Oh, okay, thank goodness. I was gonna be
Those are
so
the flight
mad.
numbers of the Tesla.
I was also. It's close. I think the Tesla's 9.5 negative 1.2. I think maybe.
I just
know any
googled Tesla
MVP.
without a disc qualifier, and I did not get a disc qualifier.
Yeah, no, you ain't getting that.
Plot
I'll
twist.
let Matt go.
That is
but
very
I
close.
think I know what
9.5,
it is.
negative 1.52.
Negative 1.52. Biggest lie ever.
Oh,
By the way,
wait.
Teslas are
I thought-
all Thunderbirds practically, or more overstable than a Thunderbird.
I must not have heard you correctly then.
Oh, that was the Tesla's flight numbers. The numbers for mystery disc are 9, 4, and negative 0.53.
Okay, yeah, that's what I
No,
thought.
I was just saying
I
the
think I know
Tesla
what it
was
is.
close.
Matt, do you have a guess?
I don't right now.
All right, I will give you the manufacturer reminders
Wait,
and guesses
wait,
after
wait,
this.
wait, wait,
Oh,
wait,
oh,
wait, wait,
whoa,
wait.
whoa, whoa.
No, I think I know what it is. I was going to let Matt guess first.
Oh, okay.
But if
I
Matt doesn't-
don't really have anything.
Is it the felon?
It is not the felon.
Oh, shoot.
Good guess.
Dynamic do
Um,
0.5s.
So
Yeah,
I will now give you
time.
the manufacturer reminder guesses after this point are minus points. The manufacturer is Dynamic Discs.
9.5 negative 0.53.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Absolutely.
If you're saying the manufacturer is dynamic disc, then I would assume is the dynamic disc something. It is not a Latitude 64.
correct, yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is a Dynamic Disc branded disc.
Can I have negative points in this game?
Absolutely.
Dang it.
There's no rules.
Dude, if I can jack up, if I can jack up like 26 points,
I would say
for-
Corey is at 700, I think, for the last game.
Yeah, don't worry about 9.5 or 9.4.
9.4. 9.4,
9.4.
negative 0.53.
3.
I can offer one more hint because this is
Am
this
I
is a tough
allowed
one.
to look at a disc really quick?
Yeah. Well, I'll say yeah. Go for
There's no
it.
rules.
There's no rules.
Am I
Hey,
allowed to
look at
look
boy
at
Stack
infinite
back there.
discs
Am I
right
allowed to
now?
Google?
Okay, never mind.
All right. Would you like the fourth hidden hint?
Yeah, go for it.
This was a Page Pierce signature disc.
Oh my heavens. We're going back to the Page Pierce dynamic disc signature disc.
I mean, 2015.
Dynamic
I don't-
has an overstable 9-speed that isn't a felon.
I feel obligated to
can I
give
say
another
what
similar hint. The flight numbers on this are just egregious.
Okay.
Absolutely egregious flight numbers.
This isn't my guess, but the disc that I looked at was the Criminal, but that's a 10 speed.
Mac also guessed that. That was
I'm
his
just-
release date guess.
I'm just gonna say that's
Oh,
crazy.
was
I
it?
was that close.
Yeah, that's why.
Dang.
That's why I paused
Yeah.
for a second. I was
That
like, oh,
was a
shit.
great answer.
That's why I don't
like
like
that
when he
was
says
so
quick
good.
answer, 'cause I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Ooh, I'm between two. All right, I'm locking in Vandal.
It is not the Vandal.
Hate to see it.
I don't know.
I think
DD
the
that
Vandal
well.
is. I think the Vandal's more recent than that, though.
I don't know DD enough either. That I know literally like
That
two
Vandal's
overstable
2018.
7.9s. Oh, Mac was sneaking in there.
With the numbers.
Yeah, I'm not giving a
of
guess here. I don't have nothing.
9.5 negative
Ooh.
1.52. So glad it was another solid guess.
9.5.
I'm all over it.
5, 3. And it's Flippy.
This was I think the Passion before the Passion. Was the intended flight of this disc.
And we're
Like
guessing
Passion Light.
discs.
Does it also have a weird bead on it like a Passion?
I
This
don't
isn't
know. I can Google
for me
it.
to figure out. I just yeah. Can I see what you're typing?
No.
Can we see your spreadsheet or no?
Can you just pull up that Excel sheet? I don't see
Alright,
it
Corey.
on this.
Cooper, get off the pot. Are you giving a guess or no?
That's a
No.
Eek.
Any guesses here?
Weak.
It is the Dynamic Disc Convict.
I wouldn't have got
Yeah, I
there.
don't know.
Crazy,
I didn't even know that was
crazy name for a disc. Yeah, because is it out of production?
Probably.
I was close on my first
I
guess.
know.
Yeah.
It was very close.
criminal.
Dude, he got the discs that Dynamic realized later we should probably stop making these.
Right.
I remember watching an interview with the DD guy, and he was like, "Yeah, we had a couple of convict criminal. We'd probably stop making these. And make a new
Probably
name
just
for them."
rename those
I think
real quick.
Discraft's in the same boat because they're getting rid of like Predator,
Predator,
and
Stalker.
Stalker.
All right, next up,
Can we-
number
Can we
4.
addendum the rules really quick and say
Absolutely.
if you decide to guess on the negative points, you get double points if you get it right?
I think if there's that much animosity of like not wanting to guess, like I think that should be rewarded if you get it right for sure. So
All right.
Were there different points for each group?
yeah, so like you got 3 for the approved day one. Current points are you have 3.
I'm gonna guess.
Matt
I'm gonna guess
has-
on the last
Matt has 2, and then Mac has -1 right now. I think
Yeah, but Corey, the last one
only
only gets
double
you 1.
points. I think it should be a timer related. So like
I'll leave that up to you.
basically if everybody has gotten a negative point and you guess it after that, it's double points.
How about you just feel it out and give
That's
however
what-
many points?
Yeah.
That's typically how the games
Wait,
work
wait,
around
wait,
here.
wait. What about this? What if no one else guesses? It nullifies that negative point, so he's at 0.
Okay, yeah, I mean he was a brave soldier for taking a pass. I got to
Like,
reward that.
What if that's what the last one is?
I'm gonna give Mac a 0.5 point because his first was so
Heck yeah.
close. So this is purely turning into a vibes point system.
If I lose to Mac by 0.5, you're never gonna see me in Discord again, dude. I'm gonna pull it.
You got a DD rating system of 0.5.
Yeah. Next is came out January 9th, or was approved January 9th of 2002.
Gosh, dang.
And we'll say solid rip there. We'll say
I love
one
that
guess
you-
until the end. One guess per
It
per
looked
level.
like you tried to
Channeled
search
something.
You're like coyote. 2002.
I was feeling the vibes from the ether.
Yeah,
Mystere.
not the Mystere. Great guess.
Oh, you said Misty. I thought you said the steer.
The Steer.
Hey,
God,
Leave
what a
Us
Lone
Alone
Star
came
disc
out in
that would be.
2002.
Yep.
The steer.
If that's not an overstable fairway
You
driver,
could
I
go
don't know what is.
crazy on stamps on that thing.
Yeah, the Ram 1500. I'm gonna go with the Buzz.
Not the Buzz. Great guess. Flight numbers 2302.
Oh. Two, 3, 0, 2.
2002.
KVRX.
You
Not the
munch
AVRX.
again.
No way. There's no way.
I
Yeah,
was
just
literally
had
about to
cook
say
it up in his brain.
AVR
Living right in Matt's
That's-
dome, bro.
AVR 3.
Not the AVR 3.
Is that the?
Great guess.
I'm not kidding, Mac. I was AVR X3 or AVR 3, and I was deciding between them, and you took AVR X, which is like it was on the list.
Chally OS.
Is not. Great guess. Manufacturer. Gateway Disc Sports.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Who? Oh wait. Gateway Discs Wizard.
It is the Wizard. Shout out to
I
Matt.
wasn't
an
confident
02?
enough.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
the fakest O2. I mean, well, maybe if you throw it, it's an O2, but no one. Who do you know who's like, I love my throwing wizard? No, everyone.
It's-
Puts it.
Yes,
Robbie
I
C,
love to throw
probably.
wizards.
I didn't think you were gonna pull just the wizard. I thought you were gonna go sneaky like magic or something.
I
one
did
knows
have the
anything past the
Voodoo
wizard,
at
though.
first, but I was like,
My
I'll give him the
first
classic.
Putting
classic.
putter was a magic. My
Ew.
second was a Swan 2.
We used to, when I first got into disc golf, my dad is from St. Louis, so we loved Gateway, and my brother had like the quadruple S Wizard. My dad putted like Voodoos for a while. We were in there. We were deep in the Gateway putter ecosystem. You guys are gonna not like me for this one, but next disc up, approved date December 3rd of 1991.
Wolf.
God, what a guess. Not correct, but what a guess.
T-Bird?
Not a T-Bird, but also what a guess.
I lied. That 1991 would make sense for that.
Ooh. I know what it is. It just came to me.
Just
Kid in a dream.
The Discraft Storm.
tis not. Great guess. Flight numbers 6, 4, 1, 5.
Cobra.
Not the Cobra. Great guess.
6415. Wait. The Viper.
It is the Viper.
Dang it!
What?
Dang it! That was the next one.
It is the Viper. Points update. Corey's got 5 now. Mac at 0.5. Pity point for the great guess. And the
I
Matt
don't know
is
why,
at 3.
but I was like, those aren't real flight numbers. And then I thought about Mac saying that to me. And then I knew exactly what it was for some reason.
I did pull it out and then I transferred it to
It's-
to Corey.
Yeah. I just didn't see you go like this.
Next disc up was
Re-announce.
approved March 27th of 2015.
That is literally me and Haley's dating anniversary. That's crazy. March 27th of
Big day.
2015.
Big day.
Ask her
Yeah.
if she knows what disc was.
Did you know what discs were approved that day?
Hey, what disc? 2015 again.
The Latitude 64 Gobi.
Great guess. Not it, but great guess.
The harp. The harp. I don't know.
Not the harp, but great guess. God, what a pull in the Gobi, though. That thing was sick.
I know.
Gobi is a goated mid range.
The Gobi.
Gobi
Let's
somebody.
go with the MVP Anode.
Not the Anode. Great guess. I'm still shook Corey got one off the approved date. That's just so wild.
Yeah, that's good.
Prepare your brains.
Yeah.
Flight numbers 1102. The Berg. It is the Berg. Max up to 2.5. He's on the board.
2015. Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
would say
been
that
around
older
longer
than
than
you
I
think.
thought.
Yeah, I thought it was like 2026.
I thought it was way later than that, but there's not that many discs with those flight numbers.
Yes.
2015.
Next up, we've got an approved date of I'm so sorry. July 2nd. I thought I was reading flight numbers because I said a number, threw myself off. July 2nd of 2012.
2012. See, the thing is, there's just not that many companies even around
Yeah.
when you get this far back. Or
Please-
like if
please
they are,
don't.
they're in their infancy.
Please tell me I got this right. The Discraft Zombie.
It is not, but great guess.
Oh, that was the ace race that
Ooh,
year.
ooh, the dynamic discs escape.
Not the Escape. Great disc and great guess.
The Escape.
Just
Spin
knew
off a
that they
weekly
were
game
doing-
show. What if we just did the game show as the podcast? We just got rid of everything else.
In all honesty, I would love that. An hour of just this.
Yeah, it's just
All right, we have 57 discs. That
yeah,
we're
it's
gonna-
just this game for an hour.
Sounds fun, honestly.
Yeah, great. Bricks has got a great idea. Invite a
Okay,
guest
I
on to
don't know
try and
why I
beat the
just
panel. Like,
I don't know why I just thought of this, but what if we did a podcast where every episode was the amount of minutes for the episode number? So like
that's
first episode was
sick.
just
It was
a minute
1 minute
long.
long. Wait,
Yeah.
what if we did the
And now
game
we're
show
on-
thing and then Corey gets us the background of just like a Wheel of Fortune set or something and just like transparents out like I could be Bob Barker up there. Just or get we could put together multiple scenes to switch back and forth. Oh, it'd be so sick. We're cooking. We're cooking.
Okay.
The subscriber to episode number thing does happen. I think you pivot.
Send it another direction.
We've talked a lot about we're kind of just like an Aldi brand foundation podcast. There is no game show disc golf podcast.
That is true. We might just have to pivot.
A niche.
We might just have to pivot here.
Dude, I've thought about this. A disc golf specific game show like YouTube channel would go crazy. Where you just disc golf parodied like every popular game show.
Like I'm genuinely imagining like what if I put together a green screen and I'm just up here and we transition between scenes like and we're going over to Corey Kramer now.
That would be fire.
There was a podcast that did this though, because Foundation was it was like they brought on two people from each different company and they did an hour long of trivia or an hour and a half long trivia because Foundation was on at one point. But I don't really know.
Bob Parker.
Oh, there was Nick and Matt show did a game show episode.
Yeah, but this is different.
Yeah.
Anyways, to answer
I don't think that happened because you guys are super original.
Yeah.
And cool.
Yeah. To answer that question,
July 2nd, 2012, by the way. Just a reminder. Not the escape and not the zombie.
Dynamic Disc Warden, I think maybe.
Not the Warden. Great guess. Flight numbers.
I liked the way you guessed that. Dynamic Disc Warden, perchance, maybe.
Maybe. Flight numbers are 8, 5, -0.5, 2.
85 -0.52.
So we're really about this then. The Saint.
What a guess. Not the Saint, but what a guess.
Maverick.
Not the Maverick, but what a guess. Great guess.
5.
It's so funny. You just go before like, I don't know. You go anytime around here, you see the 0.5 and you go, it's latitude or dynamic.
It's gotta be trilogy.
It doesn't exist at that point. Ryan, we're having Chandler Fry on.
Brixton's cooking right now. Future. Absolutely cooking.
It might actually pop off if
it's a game show one. I think we got to send it, man.
The first episode of the podcast the first episode of the game show podcast is Chandler Fry. You just don't tell it.
Don't tell him that's what he's coming into.
Yeah, it's kind of like Foundation, and then he jumps on. And it's like sparklers, and he's like, "Whoa!"
So I have a smoke machine in here. Just hello.
Somehow the smoke is in his.
It just comes through.
What is going on?
And hello and welcome everybody to
-0.52. Leopard 3.
Not the Leopard 3. What it is? Are you ready to hear your manufacturer?
Yeah.
It is MVP Disc Sports.
Oh. This was 2012?
July 2nd, to be exact.
The amp.
Not the amp. That's -1 to my guy Matthew.
Hey, Matt, I got you, man. The servo.
Thanks, man.
It's not the servo minus max at 1.5.
Wait, I thought if I guessed it canceled out the negative.
No, we didn't really need it. Oh, I thought you were trying to dog on me by getting the right answer. I told you the servo was
your point back.
Was not the right.
No.
And so this is how we both go down. And this is how we both go down.
If we didn't guess, if we both passed, like to save our guess. Hold on.
Now you have to guess, Corey.
Yeah,
that's true.
I
Contractually obligated.
I just need to think.
I don't know if I could think of any more MVP disc fairway drivers, honestly.
Dude, I don't know.
I've got a couple. The issue is
-0.52.
MVP did so many out of production molds from when they first started molding discs at that time. They're literally like 15, 20, and they had more out of production molds than they had in production molds.
Is it legal to guess or to ask if it is out of production?
I don't know. I could look it up.
Yeah, I would say Taylor hasn't.
You could really just send any engineering term and have like a
pretty good chance.
Yeah. Guys, while Corey is thinking, at the tournament I was at this weekend, this guy was just first time ever playing like in a tournament, He's throwing disc. He goes, why do they always need, like, why does this always go left? He's a bigger guy. I'm like, I know you can at least half the disc, like the disc. And he goes, it just always goes left. I was like, what are you throwing? He goes, he just hands me a Champ Firebird. And I'm like, what else do you have in your bag? And I dig through his bag. He has a second Champ Firebird. And he's like,
another Champ Firebird.
I found a Leopard 3 in his bag. I was like, dude, just throw this. And then he proceeded to birdie like the next 3 holes. And I was like, oh, this poor guy.
There it is.
And the thing is, they guilted him into buying them both from the shop he works at, which is how he got into disc golf. Because they were custom stamps from his own brewery.
I don't know, so I'm just gonna say Tesla.
It is not the Tesla, but great guess.
Didn't we say the Tesla flight numbers earlier?
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
I don't know what this is.
Any other guesses for double points, real quick, before we move
Is
on?
is it the Volt?
MVP.
It is the Volt. Double points to Matthew Marsh.
It's so
DG.
garbage.
He's back up. We've got Matt at 4, Mac at 1.5,
Which is
Corey at
also
4.
Way more stable than the number 7.
All I have to do is guess one off the manufacturing date, and then I beat
You're
Matt
right
by
back in it.
0.5.
You're right back in it. Next up, we have the approved date of March 5th of 2013.
Oh my heavens.
March 5th.
Defender.
Not the Defender, great guess.
Anode.
Not the Anode, great guess.
Is it the Archer?
It is not the Archer, but that's a great guess. We have got the flight numbers of 5402.
5402.
5402.
5402. 5402.
Hornet.
Not the Hornet, but that's a great guess.
Hawk.
Not the Hawk, but that's a great guess.
Oh my gosh.
Lion?
It's like
We're surrounding it.
It's got it surrounded.
I'm like happy and sad that he keeps saying, but that's a great
Yeah.
guess.
That's a great guess. Not the Lion, but that is also a great guess. We've got the manufacturer of Prodigy discs.
Oh. He's faded. He's faded.
Is it the
M2.
It is the M2. Mac back up to 2.5.
Sponsor.
I was saying, we had to.
Didn't I literally give you that one,
Yeah, I love that thing.
Taylor?
You
Yeah.
didn't give me it.
But like, isn't
you
it the first run? Like,
Yeah, it's technically an M3. But if you look at the approved like section in the
Whoa.
PGA, it's like M2 parentheses formerly M3.
You gave him a proto M2.
Yeah, that thing is so
Yeah.
sick.
You're crazy for
That thing
that.
is so sick.
that thing goes for money.
You can have it back if you want.
Yeah. I also
Next
have
up
an M3, right, or something like that. What was
think
that other
so.
one?
that you have or I have.
I don't. Did I not give you both?
No, you just gave me the M2.
Oh, hey Mac, you want something else that's old?
Sure.
That thing is sick. Next up,
Something.
approved date November 13th of 2012.
Retailer's mind.
Syndicate.
November 13th, 2012, huh?
Same brain M4.
Not the M4. Great guess.
Thank you.
I do think Taylor went sneaky back-to-back Prodigy. PA3.
Not the PA3, but that's a great guess.
D2.
It is not the D2, but that is
We're all
also a
in
great
Prodigy
guess.
mode now.
It's just in Prodigy mode now. The flight numbers are 6, 4, -1, 1.
Zombie.
It is the zombie.
What the?
Mac
yeah.
is 2 point. I wanted Corey to say
Wait,
it's so
when?
bad off the approved date, man.
2012, yeah.
Yeah,
Zombies
Was the
old.
November
Ace race
13th.
before? Well, the only reason I didn't say it because the Ace race was definitely before November.
I wonder if it was
So
like
was it
pre-approval.
unapproved?
Oh yeah, they unapproved.
Oh.
They unapprove him, Corey, because like that's what people typically try and find a name for them, and some of them they can't. So they literally just say
Oh.
Discraft Ace Race
Hmm.
disc of this year.
Dang it.
All right, Matt's in the lead now. We got Matt at 6, Mac at
What the
2.5,
fart?
Corey at 4. Double or nothing on the last one. Should I just send it? double or nothing on the last one. We've got an approved date of June 6th of 2022.
End of a racer.
Not the racer, but that's a great guess.
Oh, it's so funny.
But that's a great guess.
That is a great guess right there. That was fantastic.
2022? 2022. Holy crap.
I'm picking up on Discmania here. I don't know why. This could be about the time the active line was coming out.
Could be.
Could be.
Discmania Rockstar.
It is not the Rockstar, but that is a great guess.
I hate when he does that. 2022. Was I around for 2022?
Was I there?
We're somewhere.
Was I there?
This could also did the molds had to get reapproved when Discmania came
I was
back
thinking
from
the same
Innova.
thing. Yeah. And they were reapproving a lot of stuff in the last couple of years.
Just a little tidbit for you, Corey.
I was not paying attention to what you said at all.
Corey's like, wait.
I'm like
Say that
trying
again?
to think of.
He said great guess.
Easy to clap.
It's a great guess.
What's close to a rock star?
Yeah. Astronaut.
It's not the astronaut. That is a dog shit guess. The flight numbers are. We've got
I
flight
hope they're
numbers.
the same flight numbers as the astronaut right now.
Flight numbers
Terrible guess.
are 9403.
FD3?
It is the FD3.
You mother.
It's the FD3. How did he know? How did he know it was
How
new
did you
disc
go
Disney?
Discmania, though?
I was right there.
That's
Well,
wild.
because Mac was, I had the same thought as Mac, is like all these original moves, discs are getting reapproved for Discmania's new run of them.
No. Before that, Max said, "I'm
just sounded-
feeling Discmania."
I pulled it from the ether, man. I did the
Well, I mean, that's the only brand we haven't visited really in any
Whoa.
regard.
stop
There's a
playing.
lot of-
Stop playing down
Stop-
my ESP.
Stop logic
he,
again here.
he ESP'd it,
No,
but
that's Discraft.
It's true.
oh my bad.
Well, if you want to get yourself an FD3 or some of the discs on this list, I don't know how many are there, you can go to foundationdiscgolf.com using our affiliate link preferably and buy one. You can also buy merch to support this content/podcast. And please comment down below if you would like this to just turn into a game show podcast, because I think it just might happen.
We're doing it. It doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens.
It's
We'll
way
be
more
back
fun.
next week, as always, Wednesday, 7:45 Central Time. Any parting thoughts
Hey.
from the boys?
I in honor of, since I'm in Tyler's spot, I would like to continue Tyler's tub
Oh, I
as
forgot.
Max Rack.
Oh, we love that.
Oh,
We love that.
I have already random number generated what disc I'm going to pick off of my disc rack over here. So
C cup.
just send it.
I'm
C-
gonna
C
say a Strider.
oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna say a D1.
Okay.
I'm gonna say in a finish line era.
Say we're all gonna
Okay.
say Prodigy, and it's gonna be like an N of
Yeah,
us.
that's what
something
I was
like
kinda-
this.
Come on, baby, give it to me. Corey, when are we
I'm
going to
also
play
gonna-
New London?
I don't
No.
know.
Yeah, no, I might actually sneak down like in the next couple weeks and play just for fun.
I'm actually going tomorrow.
All right. So we said Strider, D1, and Era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a Innova AVR.
Oh,
Oh, look at that
Dr.
beautiful,
Putter.
beautiful Dr.
Guys,
Putter.
Man, it's Gosh,
You
dang.
guys missed the Prodigy sections.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, there's Max Rack. We'll see y'all next week.
I like that.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
It wasn't an error, but that was a great answer.
This is a great guess. Great guess. I was so shook when you said criminal. I was like, what? There's no way. There's no way.
I'm telling you, man. I was right there. I was circling.
I feel like we were all trying to get in his head.
I was in Matt's head.
Yeah.
Just Matt didn't have the right answer.
Yes.
Except on the last one where he stole it from me.
Yeah. Yeah. I also like. I'm feeling dismayed. He was like, "How does he know? How does he know?"
I know these things.
I don't know why, but when Matt pulled back and was like, "Yeah," but like way back here,
Yeah.
You like that one.
it looked so funny.
I think the turning this into a game show and just making it fully unhinged might be the move.
Yeah. It kind of sounds sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Unhinged business.
Oh, heavens.
I say the question is, if we turn it into a game show, do we rebrand or we just rock it out?
I don't know. I was trying to think of like what could UFB also be for like yeah, something else.
You effing bet.
But great guess.
but great guess. Great guess.
How did Corey get this flawless screenshot of me? Holy crap.
Guys, I'm playing a Glitch World. Playing a Glitch World Hellfire. 2 minutes from now.
The screenshot is peak. This thing's so good.
He looks so tiny.
Oh, I was just getting a 7-Up from the fridge and I got clowned.
Bro, you're looking like a cryptid on the podcast.
Guys, you like these creatine gummies I got because I hate taking the powder?
Mm.
They're disgusting.
Wait, you're
Yeah,
taking
what-
creatine at 11 at night?
You know what creatine is? I don't feel like he knows what it is.
Does he know?
What is the point of you taking that right now?
Creatine is not like a pre-workout or anything.
What is it for then?
I'm still chewing.
Oh,
It's gonna take a
cool.
while.
Oh, cool, nice.
I
Good
thought you
guess.
said
That's a-
ASMR.
that's a
give
good
us
sound.
give us the technical definition, man.
I think creatine is supposed to like help your musculature with like energy supplies while you're working out. It is a little odd he's taking it at 11 p.m.
That's what I'm saying. You're about to go to bed.
Maybe he's like carb loading. but with
Creatine is like
creatine.
creatine. You just need to what's the word I'm looking for? Adequately supply your body if you want to supplement it. Like it doesn't really matter when you take it.
Yeah.
But its goal, like it helps the things in your body that create ATP to function at a higher level.
Not only that, helps your mental focus. Fighter pilots are required to take creatine. It can help keep muscle on your body. It can
I'm
help
glad that you're going to sleep and dreaming about being a fighter pilot, but
Everybody's got to have dreams.
it just
It can
to
help
me that just doesn't make sense.
upkeep your skeletal structure. So it's not that you need to take it before workout. You just need to have an upkeep in your body. If you ate a crap ton of red meat, you could also have creatine in your system, but just no one's going to eat that much red meat to regularly do it. So you might as well supplement it. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
but
much-
also they wouldn't be eating that much red meat at 11 p.m. at night. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like it's just a weird time for you to be like popping these.
It's just more
creatine
about
gummies.
having
You
the
eat red-
consistent supply.
yeah.
I don't want to go to
At a
bed
steady
and have my
state.
bones turned into jello, so I'm gonna pop some creatine.
Creatine is actually like goaded for me. It has a far more drastic effect than the normal individual I found.
Should fighter pilots be required to rip cigs?
Of
Yeah,
course.
you gotta
Nicotine
think.
gives
You
you
gotta think
enhanced mental
Zin's got to
focus.
be in there.
Yes.
At least a
No,
Zin.
it's way cooler if they're ripping cigs.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially,
They gotta
especially
pull
if
your
the-
oxygen back and it just blows
Yeah.
up.
I can't see shit in here.
Yeah, it's smoky. Enhance focus.
Dude, did you know you can like not become a pilot if you're allergic to bees?
My chances are
No,
done
on the
for,
off
man.
on the off chance that a bee gets into the cockpit and kills you mid-flight. I
Interesting.
had a buddy who he was going to become a Navy pilot, and that was the reason that he couldn't do it.
It's
That's
wild.
so sad.
Yeah.
Bro,
That
also,
would forever be
I will
my
say,
excuse for not being drafted.
so
Are
I'm
you
allergic to bees.
No, but I'm saying if I was like, sorry, boss, I can't be drafted. I know there's a war going on, but I'm allergic to
Yeah.
bees.
No, that pilots
Oh,
in
bees in
general,
Afghanistan, kid.
not very intelligent people.
Who?
Pilots in general.
Pilots in general, yeah. So we have
Really?
the army base by me is like strictly if you are in the army and fly a helicopter, like you go here. And there's even like overseas people that like need to train to like fly helicopters. They go to 30 minutes by me. So I know a lot of people that are pilots. All of them are not very
Okay,
intelligent
but we're
individuals.
talking about army
pilots,
Yeah.
yes.
Here's
yeah,
what I think.
strictly.
I think you need to take the step back and say military.
That's actually
That's
what
on
they asked
me
themselves.
to the commercial pilot community. I apologize. Strictly talking about the army.
To the quagmires out there, we apologize.
That's actually what they ask themselves in the mirror every morning. They say, "Army pilot, me definitely pilot." Sorry, that was a Cookie Monster joke.
I
love that.
got the Cookie Monster joke.
Why use many words when few words do
Yeah. Army pilot, definitely me pilot.
Corey introduced us at his little birthday game or birthday party to a game. I don't remember what it was called, but basically you have to. It's like charades, but you can only talk like a caveman.
It's poetry for Neanderthals,
That's sick.
and you have to use one syllable words to describe whatever's on the card. So it's like word charades, and it comes with a little inflatable club that you just beat people with if they use two syllables. And my buddy, one of my friends, said the word smile. And my other friend just started beating the shit out of him. And he's like, what? What? He's like, smile. That's two syllables. And we were like, what? And he's like, smile. So that was the joke for the rest of the night.
I also love how Mac teed that up of, yeah, Corey showed us this little game at his little birthday party that he had. just imagining Corey like in Chuck E. Cheese. Like just
Yeah.
It was essentially that, but with alcohol.
Yeah, there was alcohol, there was a bonfire, and there was a club made out of inflatableness.
It was fun though
Sick.
because your brain kind of shuts down once you get your like 4 or 5 words out. So like one
Yeah.
of my things I had to give hints for was sleeping giant, and I'd already gotten them to sleeping. So like there's like
Mhm.
2 tiers on the word, so you get like the first easier one,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can try and do the next one for more points. And so I think I got them to sleep by saying like night bed or something, and they got sleep.
No.
And then they said, and I said, big man night bed. And they said, what? And so I just kept saying, big man night
Just say it
bed.
over and over. It's-
But like your brain just does not
It's-
connect
it's-
anything. It's so
what was
obvious.
What was it we were doing the what I would like send you guys a disc name and you could try to get somebody else to say that disc without actually saying the disc name, and it was
Hey,
I can't
jot that down. Jot that down for the podcast.
we did that, and I think I can't remember if Tyler was trying to guess the disc or if he was trying to explain like what it was. I think it was a DGA disc, and Corey kept saying like ocean related things, and then Tyler was just like stuck on either surf or surfboard and like was just not getting past that one thing.
Oh, he was trying to describe it, and I kept saying like pipeline, riptide, current, and it ended up being, I can't even remember it.
I bet if I
Hold
look
on.
back far enough
I
in
just
my
came
like
up with
DMs with
kind of
Tyler.
a goated game for the podcast.
Because I think I was guessing pipeline and surf.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
something stupid like an old
It's like
putter
the
or
wave
something. Is or
I remember this. Yeah.
yeah.
What if before the podcast, Taylor, you send each of them a different disc mold, and then throughout the podcast, they have to try and sneak the name of the mold into
See how many times
conversation.
that they can.
Ooh.
And if
And we
any
have
of
to
love
call
that.
on them.
yes, and if you call it out, then you get points for it.
Right.
But if they sneak it in, they get points for however many times they sneak it in.
It's so
And
good.
also, if you call them and it's not their word, then you lose points.
yeah.
Like if I'm like,
Yeah.
Mac, I think that was your word, and it was just a random
I
disc.
just really like Pipeline, dude. You can like BS each other.
Okay, so it was. I kept yelling pipeline and surf, and it was breaker.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And I was like, there's so many other ways of describing that than like big wave.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I remember that. Oh my.
Yeah, he was like breaker. I was like, pfft.
Taylor, you could be so mean with that. You give someone the Gobi, and it's like, yeah. So I've always really want to go to the Gobi Desert.
I think there's a point though where if like a mold's just old enough or just obscure, that it'd be like, I don't know if that's even a disc.
Yeah.
That would be so sick though.
No, I would use it like it without being the real words. Like if I had Gobi, it'd be like, oh, if you like the Cloudbreaker so much, why don't you go be a Discmania friggin'
I think that
And just-
counts.
Yeah, I
and
would
just
say that
keep
counts.
trying to say yeah.
Try to say like go.
Why does Corey keep
Why are
telling
you
people to
talking
go?
like that?
Why is Corey so
why is Corey
aggressive
keep telling-
tonight?
Why does he keep telling them to go do stuff? Why don't you go be a Hammer fan?
Got him.
I think we might be transitioning, and it might be for the best
I
because
agree.
I know for a fact. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I've never rewatched any of our podcasts, besides for like a few
you just,
times
like, hate
where I'm
all
like,
of us, or
no, I already know what's gonna happen, so it's like watching a movie again, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I already know what the plot is, kind of thing. The only time I've ever listened is sometimes like when our stuff was like bad at the beginning, like sound and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder how this sounds not through my headphones. But I guarantee you I would re-listen to a game
the
show,
game show version.
like multiple. Yeah. Like I would save up all of them and do a road trip and try and guess. Oh man.
Yeah,
I might need
I
to
think
do
it. I
some
think it could be
changing.
it. I think it could be it. We just got to brainstorm some games, but no, I think it's the one.
I think you can just do just rip some like Wheel of Fortune or Deal or No
Yeah.
Deal or something right off the bat.
Yeah.
Throw a disc golf spin on it, call it a day. Have some side games going while
Be the move.
through the show. And we're gonna. I thought Matt was muted or was like trying to talk.
Penis. I'm gonna get him to say it while he's talking to whoever he's talking to. Penis.
You say, and we're gonna take a quick break for our sponsored segment of Foundation Blackjack.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's blackjack, but you only use the speed numbers from disc molds.
Yeah. Hmm.
Untapped market.
Are we keeping unfinished business or are we changing the name? That's the thing.
Also, I feel like we got to say, since Mac's here at the inception, does Mac just full time? No,
Can we do 5? Oh yeah, I'm an
I
idiot.
mean, we can do
I
as
don't know
many as you
why
want.
We've had
By-
guests on before.
The way this rotates, it practically is Mac.
Yeah, it really
He's
is at
been
this
getting
point. Kind of
full-time.
Mac has been
Yeah.
full time.
Nadia asked me today. She was like, "Are you doing the podcast tonight?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "So when are they just gonna like put
Yes,
you on there
yes.
every week?" And I was like,
Can you text her right now? And
I
just
almost
say,
said it
"It's-
last time. I was like,
It's happening.
"Oh my god, babe, it's happening!"
It's happening. No, but for real, we should do 5, and it would be awesome. And also, time for me to go.
yeah.
Yeah, he's sleepy.
All right.
Okay.
Think of all your best games. We'll brainstorm. Tyler's in for a Discord call tomorrow.
Tyler, everything's changing.
Yes, don't worry about it.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, see you.